Have you ever looked at your paycheck and thought, what if everyone paid taxes at the same rate? Even billionaires? That simple question sparked a surprising and eye-opening answer. We asked an AI to break down what would happen if the wealthiest people in the country paid taxes at the same rate as a typical middle-income family. The response? A fascinating look at how our current system treats different kinds of income and what could happen if that changed. First, let's clear up a common myth. According to data from respected public sources, the top earners in the country, including some of the wealthiest individuals, currently pay an average income tax rate of around 16%. Meanwhile, many middle-income families pay between 0 and 15%, depending on deductions and other factors. So, in terms of income tax rates, the difference isn't as extreme as people might think, but the real story lies in how income is earned. Most people earn money through wages, and those are taxed immediately. But for the ultra-wealthy, a large portion of their wealth comes from investments like stocks. These can grow in value year after year without being taxed until they're sold, if ever. This creates a big gap between what's legally owed and how much wealth is actually growing behind the scenes. One strategy that's often used is borrowing against those investments instead of selling them. Loans aren't taxed, so this method allows people to access cash without triggering a tax event. Over time, this can allow large amounts of wealth to be used, moved, or passed on while deferring or minimizing taxes. Between 2014 and 2018, the top 25 wealthiest Americans saw their assets grow by over $400 billion. Yet, they paid just over $13 billion in federal income tax. That's about 3.4% when compared to the growth in wealth, which is far lower than what most working individuals pay on their wages. So what would happen if that 3.4% rate went up to 20%, matching what a middle-class worker might pay? The tax revenue from just those 25 individuals could have jumped to roughly $80 billion. And if that approach were applied more broadly across all high-net-worth individuals, it could lead to hundreds of billions in new revenue every year. That kind of funding could make a serious difference. It could support healthcare improvements, more accessible education, infrastructure upgrades, or reducing public debt. It might even help level the playing field for everyday families. But here's the most surprising part. The issue isn't necessarily that anyone is doing anything wrong. It's that the current system taxes earned income, like salaries, more directly than it taxes investment gains and asset growth. So maybe the real question isn't just about who pays what, but about how we define income and how the tax system treats different ways people earn and grow wealth. In the end, rethinking the way income is taxed could open the door to major improvements in public programs and economic stability. It's a complex issue, but understanding it is the first step toward meaningful change. For everyone curious about how systems really work, subscribe for more clear, thoughtful breakdowns.